This is episode 3 already. I mean, it's already becoming a really, really awesome. So that makes me feel good. I love when I feel like passionate about something. Then it's like exciting. It makes me feel good, and I'm feeling good, and that's always positive. I don't want to watch things that make me feel bad. That doesn't make sense. But there's definitely been times where I felt like that, or like at least the pressure of it with doing this channel, with reactions. It's weird. It's a weird thing. I don't think many people talk about that aspect. But there are things you watch where you're not really into, or it disappoints you, or maybe you're just not in the right headspace. I don't know. But I am totally into this. All right, guys, I'm going to jump in. We are ahead on our Patreon. We've got full-timer reactions, the clear versions without the watermark, all that good stuff. You can support us by clicking down in our description box below. Those links are there. And you can just support us. There's also just $1 a month tier as well, just if you want to support us out of goodwill for the channel. Wow, so and then there's like blue things? Yeah, that's a lot. Wow. But they just keep coming though. Oh no, she's like, no. Okay, so this is the intro. Fate Grand Order. Oh, I love this type of like genre. I can't deal. I love it. I would just hang out here. She's like Galadriel a bit.
こんにちは。驚かせてすまない。怪しいものではないから、まずは話を聞くといい。僕たちはウルクに向かうのですが、同行しますか？名前を聞かせてくれないか？藤丸律香と言います。私はマジュキレイライ。
They're so nice. I'm so paranoid.
エルキドゥさんです。
Oops. Are you not supposed to say? Are you not supposed to say that?
それは困ったな。
Oh no.
だって今ウルクで戦線を支持しているギルガメッシュ王はそう友であるエルキドゥが死亡したことによりエルキドゥはとっくの昔に。
Oh boy. So she wasn't?
でも大変惜しかった。
What?
あと少しで面白い見せ物が見られたのに。アナ、手伝ってあげなさい。
So what the heck? So was she the one that Gilgamesh was holding? And this is way more epic. Oh wow, she's able to like grow trees too. So who the hell is she now?
人間のような知性は時としてあだとなる。
Whoa.
途中から夢を見せられていた。ではあれがウルクの魔術師。
What the heck then? That is confusing.
あの少年こそ魔術王直属の配下と言えるからね。エルキドゥが魔術王の？
That's a boy?
お礼の言葉とか雨のように浴びせてほしい。あ、
はい、ありがとうございます。
Yeah, that would be me. Just cute. I would kill me like this.
同レベルの戦いをしている。私はマーリン。こちらの少女はアナ。実はサーバントでね。マーリンだって。ブリテン島の大魔術師、ムマと人間の根血。あのアルトリア・ペンドラゴンを王として担ぎ出し。
Is he the Merlin?
魔術師マーリン。彼は理想郷アバロンの中に塔を作り、そこで死ぬことなく世界を見渡し続けているそうです。この時代に先輩以外にもマスターがいるのですか？
ああ、 いるとも。私はその男に呼ばれ。
控えめに言って、マーリンはこの世のすべての不誠実が形になったような魔術師です。
よしてくれないか。
He sees all of this, right? Like this is all that's going to happen.
私、いや、僕だって手に汗握って他のキャスターのサーバントが負けを認めて二軍落ちするのはもう避けようのない手。
She's losing it.
夜が明けたらウルクへ向かおう。王様に会えばやるべきことは見えてくるはずだ。
うん。よろしく、マーリン。
よろしくお願いします。
Yeah, but damn, who can you trust? I trusted Enkidu, and I didn't even know that was a man. I'm like everything. I'm like, what?
よろしく、アナ。
So, but I mean, you gotta trust them now. But it's like,
私には
I thought Enkidu was good. It's really tough. It's tough. You can't really. You gotta trust people though. You gotta trust them until they prove you can't trust them anymore. See, this is what I'm talking about. The attention to detail. This is just amazing. It's like not only is the story rich, the art and everything they put into this is they care.
聖杯回収は魔術王の企みを暴くことにもつながる。一方で三女神同盟も放っておけば人理提訴が修復されない。
英雄王ギルガメッシュ。神と人間の間に生まれた英雄です。幼年期は人々を慈しみ、物の道理を踏まえた賢者だったのですが、青年期では全く逆の性質の手のつけられない暴君となりました。
あらゆる宝具のオリジナルである財宝を持つと。
He's like the Gilgamesh is what Jesus is. So Jesus, the story of Jesus comes from Gilgamesh, because this was before Christ.
君たちはウルからの難民ですか？
いや、彼らはギルスからの難民だ。私はこの通り祭祀場から商売の許しを得ている。
こんな小さな体でよくここまで歩いてきましたね。よかったらこれを。
Some biscuits.
アナ、恋に甘えたらどう？
Aww. And she's like a kid. She is a kid, but she's on her own and she probably just can't. She's had a hard life. She can't trust people. She's had no time to be a child. Look at how beautiful. Like, why don't we live in places like this anymore? At least here in the US. It's not. Wow.
ウルクの現在だ。肥沃な大地は良質の泥を生み出し、彼らは粘土で様々な城塞を作り上げた。それが泥と粘土と麦と羊の国。
Nice little history lesson.
エレシュ市からの物資運搬に遅延が見られるな。東門の兵舎から20人派遣し、魔獣の駆除に当たらせよ。ところで、タバドの娘が産気づいたと聞いた。巫女勤めを一人と栄養のつく果実を送ってやれ。
はい。
Sacred prostitute.
タバドは北壁から引き上げさせ、3日ほど休みを与えるがよい。
なんだかひどいようなイメージがあったけど。
I mean, it seems like he cares about his people.
ギルガメッシュ王、魔術師マーリン、お客人をお連れした。忙しい？
You pissy.
王はお喜びです。天命の粘土板、見事に持ち帰りましたか？
西の森にはないね、あれは。
よい。おおよその事情は察したわ。そのまさかよ。この玉座をし、
Oh my god.
言葉を交わして貴様らを知る時間も惜しいほどにな。
And she's like, really? Do we have to do this again? Like, I don't want to have to clean this up.
構えるがよい。天文台の魔術師よ。
We're done again. It's just cool because they get to meet all these different people, and it seems like they get to jump through time as well. Yeah, cool. Very cool. Again, so this Enkidu thing is interesting. So I'm assuming that's who he was holding. Gilgamesh was holding Enkidu. Somehow he thought he died, but he didn't. There's always like some things I will miss. So I just quickly want to, okay. Yeah, I do want to read. So Gilgamesh, the king of heroes. He was a hero born of God and humans, so it's like Jesus, but obviously Jesus, that story comes after. So Gilgamesh is like the original story of Jesus. Yeah. In his youth, he was fond of people, while also being a sage grounded in reason. But he became the complete opposite in his adolescence. So he grew up and started to be bad. He turned into an out-of-control tyrant. Okay. So the gods created the being that appeared before us, Enkidu. They became best friends. Well, I mean, that's so cool. I never, to be honest, I didn't really know the story of Gilgamesh until we were watching the Fate Stay series, and that's kind of the thing. It's like there's all this information out there, and I'm totally going to be researching about Gilgamesh because it's just interesting. It's like I only know, I have my knowledge is limited because that was all I was taught was like the Bible and this and that. Like that's the truth, that's the only truth. And when you are taught that, you kind of, it's a very limited thinking. It's a limited way of looking at life. I think I'm lucky to have like that background because then I can at least now, I can look at things in more of a logical way and understand like, there were some really great things that I learned, and there's a lot of interesting stuff in the Bible. But there's so much more like history and beautiful stuff in all religions, beliefs, and like before all of that happened, like the Bible. Sumerian. So the Sumerians are not mentioned in the Bible, at least by name. Shinar in Genesis 10 and 11 might refer to Sumeria. Some scholars think that Abraham was Sumerian because Ur was a Sumerian city. However, Abraham most likely postdates Sumeria by 200 plus years. It's just interesting. It's interesting. So the drought killed the Sumerians. It's crazy how there is these big empires in our history, and then it'll just go out. Just who knows why? It could be the earth. It could be a huge battle, another strong force to be reckoned with, and then they're just completely wiped off the face of the earth. But I think it's interesting that, so it says it began when people abandoned a village-based society and formed city-states housing tens of thousands of people, which is kind of like where we are now, which is, I don't know. I'm more of like the village vibe. I like that little communities where everybody knows each other, and I don't know. I know that it's like kind of at the point we're living in now is sort of difficult unless you're from like a small town, but these larger compacted cities are difficult to live in because you just don't know anyone. Like, and since we're human and we've evolved through time, but we're still territorial, we're still paranoid, we still have like these like instincts, these animalistic instincts. So it makes like living in places where there's so many people really stressful, I think, because how do you like evolve so much that you take that part of human nature out? I guess like that just doesn't make sense. I think just having like, if people were much closer, they knew each other by name, we knew of each other, like we don't even know our own neighbors a lot of the times. Like we don't know their names, we don't know their last names. It's an odd way of living, but it is what it is for so many of us. So, but if I could go back in time, or if I could live in some sort of fantastical world, it would be more of like a smaller community with like within nature, and but it's interesting. But the fact is that people evolve and things go forward, and because of that, because they've formed these city-states, and then they pioneered, so they by pioneering crop production boosts through irrigated farming. So it's just like more people, then they have to do more. With a country that big, the invention of writing and the implementation of higher education were only a matter of time. So it's just like, it's the process of human life. And so it's cool to see how people evolve. And but there are things that I feel like sometimes it's too industrialized. Like it doesn't need to be. Like it could I wish it was more, we were more within like nature. Like it makes more sense because we need to be within nature. But I feel like a lot of structures and this industrialized postmodern world is very much like get rid of the green and build higher and higher buildings, and so we can stack everyone on top of each other because there's so many people. So it's interesting. But I like this. I'm going to stop here for today because I could tell that I'm like getting tired, and I'd rather not do that. I'd rather be in it, like fully in it and invested. And so rather than just try to get as many out of the way as I can in one sitting, I shall return and watch the next episodes, which look like a lot of fun because they're about to, I mean, the next episode they're about to fight. So, but kind of hearing about Merlin and that was actually interesting. And yeah, I really like this episode. This is the third one. So yeah, there's a lot. This is the second episode. Oh, because I watched the first, like the episode 0. Oh, okay. Well, that's all for now. I will be back next week. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.